Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tori and today we are working in my October daily album on story number 11. So for today's story, I am actually documenting a movie night with the family where we watched the new Beetlejuice movie, and it was a whole thing. So I am separating this from my October movies story that I will have sometime later this month. So essentially, I am just going to be using a couple of printable papers. This one right here, this stripe, is from Tracy Reed Designs. And this one is actually kind of a Beetlejuice themed paper that I purchased on Etsy. I will link it down below because I have no idea where I purchased it from. But yes, I will link both of these digital papers down below for you. And I have quite a few photos here of the movie night that we had. So since it was going to be like a themed movie night, we made a bunch of snacks. I have some cucumbers, some blueberries. I think I had blackberries too, and then a ton of candy, and just lots of fun things. I had tried to purchase mostly things that were green and purple to go with the theme of the movie. I found some Beetlejuice ring pops at Target, I believe, and we made like this really disgusting slime beverage that only one of my children actually finished and none of the rest of us did. It was really gross, but it was an experience, to say the very least. So I am going to be doing a flip up portion of this page. So I've just trimmed down a bit of just regular printer paper, and I'm going to be gluing that to one of the pieces of the striped paper that I have. And then I will be taking that other piece and gluing it to the back of the other piece of striped paper. This flip up is going to hide 3 of my photos and all of my journaling for the movie night. And then on the very front of it, I'm going to just place the photo of the movie kind of cover itself, and then the photo that I took of all of the snacks that we had. And you'll kind of see that come together as we move along. But yes, so I'm just creating the main flip right here. You'll see I've got that piece of plain printer paper just kind of sticking out of the side here, and that will be the piece of the paper that is adhered back down to my purple and green paper, and that will kind of hold everything in place. Now, one thing that I do in this particular video that I did not include on camera, but I will be doing the same thing in I think my next video, so that'll be there as well, is adding some little Velcro circles to hold this flip down while I'm flipping through my album. This flip ends up being quite heavy by the end of this video, primarily because I had printed this striped paper out on 110-pound cardstock without really thinking about it. I honestly don't even think that I had intended to use it for this layout initially, and that's why I printed it on such a heavy cardstock and then just changed my mind last minute, which happens frequently, so that kind of explains why I would have done that. But because of that, everything ends up being quite heavy, and I don't want that kind of flopping around inside my album while I'm flipping through things, because that will increase the chances that this very thin printer paper will rip inevitably. And those little Velcro pieces will kind of keep everything exactly how they need to be until I want it to be opened. So I'm going to place the primary images for this spread, the Beetlejuice movie cover, and the photo that I took of all of the snacks and stuff that we had laid out, and get those adhered to the front of this flip up. And then we will move right along. Once I get this adhered down, I believe I pull out some additional paper to cover up that white printer paper that I've got on the inside of my flip. Honestly, I don't think that I thought about that at all when I was actually getting all of my supplies ready and placed them in my little pouch for today's spread, but we'll figure it out while I'm filming. So you see I've got this big white piece here. Kind of laying out my photos the way that I think that I will want them. And now I'm going to pull out some of the Studio Calico papers from last year's kit to find something to just kind of cover up this big in-your-face piece of white here. And I do find like a paper that has kind of like 2 ticket style like areas. These kind of look like tickets to me. It's this paper right here that I've got pulled out. I'm going to pull that one out to cover up the white piece, and I pulled this one because I didn't want anything to be sticking out from my flip up, and this was kind of the perfect size to A, cover that white piece, and then B, it also will not stick out from my actual piece of flip paper that I have, the white striped paper, the white and black striped paper. So I'm just going to trim this down and only use one of these little kind of ticket areas. I don't know what this would be called, but I'm calling it a ticket. So that's what we'll be doing. I'm just testing it out to make sure that it covers everything that I want it to cover. And then I will pull out my little Tonic mini photo trimmer to actually kind of trim out this photo. This was the really gross like slime drink that we made on this last photo that I've got here. That I took a photo of us from above, all just kind of doing like a little cheers together. And it was, the texture of it was not great. Like it just tasted like lime, so that was fine. The taste was fine. But the texture was awful. If you're a texture person like myself, I do not recommend it. It was like, I think, a little cauldron slime drink set or package from Target, and it was gross. So I'm getting my photos adhered down, and then I will pull out that Tonic mini trimmer to get this kind of photo of the drinks that we had trimmed down to, I believe it's going to be about 2.5 by 2 3/4 or something like that, is what I ended up needing to trim it down so that it fits inside this very large box that's on this patterned paper that I used to cover up that white piece of printer paper. So I'm just getting this photo cut down to fit inside that little rectangle box that's on my piece of patterned paper. And then I will get that adhered down. Once that's adhered down, we will move right along to adding a couple of embellishments and my title to my layout today. Just sticking that down right here. I will also off camera use that rectangle box right below my photo. I'm going to put a 5-star sticker there, but like one that I can fill in just so that we can have like a little rating for it. I wasn't entirely sure what I was going to do while I was recording, but that's what I did end up doing with that box right there. I'm going to pull out the tab stickers from the Allie Edwards kit from last year and add that to my little flip up as a way to kind of make this a little bit easier to open. And then we will start adding my Beetlejuice title. I'd considered pulling out my ruler to kind of make sure that my title was as straight and lined up as possible, but then felt like it would more match the theme of Beetlejuice for me to just kind of leave things a little bit off-kiltered if that's what happened when I was laying everything out. So that's exactly what I did. I just pulled out those foam alphabet stickers. Those ones are from Citrus Twist. I think I said that at the beginning. But I'm just going to pull them out and I'm just going to eyeball it and just place everything down. There's a ton of letters in these, so I was able to spell out Beetlejuice twice without needing to actually cut anything up. So I was super happy about that. I used it on the line, the green and a little bit of blue kind of pieces of the pattern paper because I thought that the black would stick out a little bit better. Ideally, I would have liked to have it a little bit closer to my actual flip up, but this ended up working out just fine. So I'm just getting that spelled out here, and then I have a little bit of space at the end because I did not like pre-check to see how everything would fit out. So I'm just going to stick one of the little stars that's also included with this foam alphabet right at the end to just fill up that little bit of extra space here. And then we will kind of just continue moving right along. I will pull out some word phrase stickers also from Ali Edwards. I think either the kit from last year or the year before. I'm not 100% sure what kit it's from. Nope, just kidding. They're not from Ali Edwards. The word phrase stickers that I pull out are from Studio Calico, and I bought them, I think, 2, maybe 3 years ago whenever I did my very first October daily, which I think was in 2022. So yeah, and I think they were already old at that point. But I'm going to pull out some of those some of those word phrase stickers, and that's going to be what I use to fill in that space between the 2 photos that I adhered down on that flip. My story number sticker, I'm just going to stick right here so that it's a little bit hanging off of the side of this kind of ticket page, and it's just going to hang right off the side there, and I'm just flipping my flip up open and closed to make sure that it actually covers the story number, just because I didn't want anything just hanging off the side of that. So I'll get that put away, and then this is where I'm going to go ahead and add some of those word phrase stickers. I chose Candy is Dandy because we did have quite a bit of candy this night, and then I also chose Goblin and Ghosts and Goblins. And honestly, the only reason I chose that one is because it ended up fitting perfectly. So I was able to just create a straight line of word phrase stickers right across the in-between of these 2 photos. So that's why I chose that one. It was the perfect size to complete that line. The last thing I'm then going to do here is just apply some additional pressure to these foam stickers just to make sure that they're actually sticking down. And that's it. I am done with this layout. I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!